Hi, this is Jake Schwartzbaum coming to you live from the 2025 National Retail Federation Show. This annual event is where retail and e-commerce innovators gather to showcase the latest technology and discuss the future of shopping. Over the next few days, I'll be interviewing a variety of industry leaders, from emerging brands to established players, about how cutting-edge tools, platforms, and strategies are reshaping the retail landscape. Whether it's AI-driven insights or the evolving marketplaces like Amazon, we'll dive deep into how these trends are influencing both online and in-store experiences. Stay tuned for exciting conversations that reveal what's next for the world of retail and e-commerce.
A lot of things that are happening out there, but they're using AI just for single little topics, and they don't have the global view of it. And that's the very important thing. That normally what we try to do and we try to make is that AI should be used for enhancing globally and at scale. And these at scale topic, it's
So how do you tie in all the different data points together in order to make intelligent decisions? How are you training that that data? How are you making sure that there's not too much noise? Can you tell me a little bit more about your techniques there?
The real topic for the moment in commerce is that there's a lot of different vendors out there, and each of them is having his own little AI topic. So for example, if you look at what Salesforce is doing with their AI agents, then you have some for example, what's their name? Algolia, who's having a search engine where AI is embedded, etc. Our role is now to make sure that all of these are talking together, because we don't want to have it in the silos. And the governance of the data is super important, for example. So what we're trying to do is to have the proper architecture to make sure that when you do something, when you train an LLM for one of those topics, that it can be used also for the other ones. That's the real challenge behind it.
How is your team able to rely on the data to make sure that with all thousands of data points, with the extremely complex analysis that's going on, how do you feel? How can your team feel confident that the data is correct?
That's where it comes, where we start to use IBM technology with Watson, and this is so that there's a real governance layer into that, and making sure that all of the things that you do with AI are done on proper data, and that you have no biases. And the tools that we use, or that we are using with our customers, are clearly showing up that as soon as there is something, an hallucination, or as soon as there's a bias, that you get a red flag on it. And that is something that is one of the most important things that we do today. And at the end, why is it so important? It's the trust for our clients that they can interact on their websites.
How do you feel about how platforms like Amazon and other e-commerce platforms are utilizing AI? You have Rufus right now, but also Amazon advertising platform is using AI. Do you know how they are keeping up with the latest technologies?
I think the most important thing for the moment, when you look at those big ones, at Amazon, for example, or Amazon, you mean by Amazon.com or
Amazon.com retail, yeah.
I think there's a lot of people who doesn't understand exactly what's happening behind it, and the fear comes more and more. That means the trust part becomes, I think, now more and more relevant for big brands to make sure that customers know what happens with the data and that they are interacting. And for example, it's super important to understand that when you interact, that there is AI behind it, and you're not trying to act as a human. And this is one of the key. I'm pretty sure that in next couple of months or years, trust will be one of the most important thing. And I'm not really sure that everybody's going into that direction.
So good to see you guys. My name is Justin Hahnemann. I lead worldwide retail and consumer goods for AWS. And so, man, exciting to be back at NRF. So many customers and partners here with us this year, and a lot to talk about in retail.
So can you just tell us what's going on with retail? Like what happened in 2024 and what's going to change for 2025?
Yeah, so the big areas we're focused on here, on the one side of our booth, we actually are focused on physical store technology. So think about the tech that goes into the store, the experience of a customer in store, the access to stores, how you build an experience in store. And then the other side of our booth is everything around digital commerce. So think AR, VR, composable commerce, personalization, kind of everything that goes around the digital customer experience. And we cover the value chain for the retailers that we work with. So it's pretty exciting, and we get to tell that story here in person in New York.
Interesting. I'm wondering how the advancements in technology, obviously with AI, are affecting both of those different departments.
So AI has been around since the 50s. Let's start with that. And so AI is not new. In fact, we've been using AI in many parts of our business for many years, whether it be our fulfillment centers, our personalization technology, the experience in a Just Walk Out or Amazon Go store. And now with generative AI, the last 2 years, we've really been able to see that become integrated into what we do. So whether you're talking about retail media, whether you're talking about personalization, whether you're talking about like how we engage with customers or how we help our customers engage with their customers, like generative AI is becoming part of that fabric now. It's no longer just its own thing sitting on one side of the booth.
And you're talking about things like Rufus and
conversational AI. Yeah, Rufus is our conversational AI platform, if you want to call it that. Conversational shopping is becoming a bigger opportunity, not only for us, but other retailers as well. And there's many different ways to do online shopping, right? Not only conversational, you could also use images for image search, right? You don't just have to type in text to do a search on a website any longer. So there's a lot of new digital capabilities that are powered by AI, and I think that's what's exciting, and it's moving so quickly that we're doing our best to stay ahead of our customers and show them the art of the possible, because we're already out there doing it.
A lot of our listeners are vendors and sellers on the Amazon e-commerce platform. What do they have to look forward to this year with advancements in technology and Amazon?
Yeah, so first, if you're a customer of Amazon.com, thank you. I'm a regular shopper, like daily.
I think we all are, okay? I probably got a package waiting on my porch right now.
If you are a seller in our marketplace, thank you. You are part of what make the marketplace incredible and such a value add to those that shop there. With that from an AWS perspective, we help e-commerce retailers and e-commerce pure play companies to make a better marketplace, to make a better direct-to-consumer experience, to make a better opportunity for their customers to find product and to sell product. And so we're really focused there from an AWS perspective. How do we enable our customers to better engage with their customer and also to present the right offer, the right product at the right time, right, for their customer, whether it be in-store or online.
All right. Well, is there anything else that you'd like to tell us?
No, I just say exciting launch to the year. It's January as we're recording this in 2025. There's a lot of new momentum around technology, a lot of excitement for retail. And I'll just say that if you're listening or watching, my recommendation is step into and understand this new tech that's out there. Just stay up with it because it's moving so quickly.
Got it. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you taking the time. We're here to talk to Manoj about his experience selling online. Can you tell me just a general overview about your online strategy?
So online is a big part of our entire selling process, right? So we do offer online for our DIY customers through our own advancedautoparts.com, as well as we have a pro website which caters to our workshops and things like that.
Do you sell on any of the marketplaces like Amazon or Walmart or eBay or anything like that?
Yeah, we tried with the Walmart marketplace for some time, but again, we are a specialty retailer, right? So most people are looking for aftermarket auto parts. They are not going to look into Walmart or Amazon or eBay, right? They want to come to either one of the three major automotive retailers, and they look for Google it, and then they come there to their respective sites to buy the products.
So on your website, can you tell me a little bit about what strategies you used in 2024 in order to improve your sales or achieve your goals?
The big thing about auto parts is that you have to find the part quickly as possible, because with all the combination of vehicles, years, makes, model, you need to find the right part, and then you need to be able to get that part to the customer as quickly as possible, right? Amazon, everybody provides like Prime, like same day pickup, same day delivery. But for us, our strategy is you can order online, and come to our store, pick in within 30 minutes. So that's one of the strategy we've been driving to get the customers service faster, but also to get them to our store so that they want additional things, they can pick it from us.
So they're picking up in your local stores. How many locations do you have?
So we have close to 5,000 locations throughout US.
Have you heard about the buy online, pick up in store services that are with Amazon and Walmart, where you can buy online their platform and pick up in your store?
So we tried to do that with Walmart. So we had for a small time did a POC where you can go through Amazon, through the marketplace, you can buy it and then pick it up our store. But we ran into a lot of struggles with the returns and other things. So we kind of are in a place where we just shut that down, and we want to focus more on our own website. We have a great mobile app. You can download advancedautoparts.com. That app is pretty powerful. We offer a lot more flexibility, as in you want to look up your history. A lot of times you have the same vehicles, you're reordering most of the stuff, your brakes, your wiper blades. So it makes it much easier if you stick with your own app, so that the customer gets more benefit, plus your loyalty, right? We have a good rewards program which has close tie-ups with some of the Shell. Shell is a partner with us, so you can get reward points and then redeem for gas price at Shell. So,
are you using any new technologies such as AI or any new technologies that have cropped up over the last year in order to improve your business?
So we recently started looking into AI, right? It's a big concept, AI. For us, our focus is on how fast you can look at the product, right? So AI, we are utilizing that for our product lookup. So we are working with a few companies. We are working with Google for a catalog of search that utilizes AI to get products faster. And also we're looking at in different parts of our company, like our supply chain, our order management system, mainly our data analytics. We are going to invest on AI. So the future is AI, but how fast you can get into it, utilize it, depends on really how much you want to use.
And do you have any other 2025 strategies that you'd like to share about how you're working on your e-commerce business?
Again, e-commerce is a big use for us. We want to provide more and more capabilities, right? So we have a definite set of products you can get through online from a few procurement locations. Now we want to expand that, right? We want to offer more and more capabilities where whatever the product is. Some of the products can be available in your local stores, some of them are not there. So we are expanding that catalog and ability to get that product to the customer from multiple from the location. Our distribution centers, our large size stores, or in marketplace. We also have some vendors we have direct connect with, so we are offering FDO and other products to that.
People buy with their eyeballs. So visuals power commerce and they power transactions. And if you don't have beautiful images for the products that you're selling, you're not going to sell anything. And content creation is extremely complicated and very expensive. So we built technology that makes it easier and more cost effective for brands.
Can you tell me a little bit more about that technology?
Sure. So the first product that we launched was the virtual shoot. So brands are able to ship us their products and then join their shoots in real time. So every time we take a photo or video clip, they can see it in real time and make real time adjustments, which removes the need for reshoots, removes the need for people to have to fly around for shoots. And we actually grew a ton during COVID because people were getting photo shoots canceled left and right, but they were still able to create with Suna.
Would you say that platforms such as Amazon, Shopify, any of the e-commerce platforms, would you say that they're becoming more dependent and more visual? What has changed in the last couple of years in terms of visual content on those platforms?
Yeah, so what's changed is the volume of content that brands need. So gone are the days of needing that one hero asset on white. You need images with models, you need images with product in use, you need user-generated content that shows a more authentic way of people using your products. So one of the myths that we've been busting recently is that UGC doesn't belong on a PDP listing. It absolutely belongs on a PDP listing. You don't want that robotic model anymore using your product. You want to show somebody talking about it and a real user using it. So what our technology helps you do is actually pre-produce those videos and make that authentic content. And I think what I've seen change in the last few years is brands need so much volume of content and they need a huge volume of high quality content, so everybody has to take that same budget and stretch it across 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 more channels now.
What typically you're asking the client about the direction when they're choosing their content?
Sure. So one of my favorite content hot tips is, what are the customers' questions? What are the customers' FAQs? How can you solve that with visual content rather than copy? Again, people are buying with their eyeballs. They are not keep your Amazon copy for SEO. Use your visuals to tell that story. So actually one of the changes that we've also been seeing is more text overlays onto images, especially on Amazon. The photo can do the talking, but give those really quick text overlays or graphic callouts so that people can see what your content does and read. It's the see and say thing of looking at the visuals, but then also reading about what the content or what the product does.
What are the biggest mistakes you see brands do on their product images?
Stock photos of models. There are options to shoot content with real models. I'll plug Suna here. Our models are priced hourly. They are royalty free. Shoot your product with real models. Gone are the days of photoshopping your product on stock photos. The second biggest mistake that I see brands do is they repurpose one image 5 ways on a listing. Right? So it's one image and maybe it has a couple of different types of text overlays. Invest in making more rich media that every single photo has a job to be done. One of them needs to show size, one of them needs to show compatibility, one of them needs to show your product in use. So think about every single photo as a job to be done to get your customer closer to purchase. Don't just hammer the same asset and try to check the boxes of your 6 photos on Amazon.
And full disclosure, we do refer business to Suna because, like you're saying, sometimes our clients come to us with one image that they're trying to stretch across all their entire image catalog, and it's very difficult to Photoshop that. It's much better to create, do a proper photo shoots and get it done for lifestyle, even the product photo. Make sure you get it done right so you have a variety of shots to get your message across. How has Suna been using AI, and what is your opinion on AI in modern day e-commerce?
Sure. We all need to lean into AI. There's different ways that Suna has been leaning into AI. One of the biggest pain points our customers have brought us over the years is measuring the success of their e-commerce content. So how do I know that my Shopify listing is performant? How do I know that my Amazon listing is performant? So we actually have AI tools that measure the success of your listings. They'll identify the areas that our AI tools identify your areas of opportunity in your listings, where you might need lifestyle images, where you might need to show your product in use with a model. So we actually have a scoring tool with our AI. And then the other area that we use AI for is image generation. So, however, all AI is informed by what?
Real photography or real images.
You need the real images first.
Yeah.
So we take those real images. We've taken millions of images at Suna. So our AI tool is informed by how should a product actually look on a countertop? How should a product actually look when it's in use? So basically, we take those very initial images of your products, and then you can use our AI tool to repurpose those, add props, change the backdrops. And I have one more thing to share. Another way that brands are able to use Suna Another way that brands are able to scale with Suna and using AI is that we help them scale lifestyle imagery. Lifestyle imagery is extremely expensive. So if you need to show a pair of shoes on the steps of New York, that's very expensive to shoot. So what our AI tool is able to do is that you can actually generate imagery using your PDP images to show lifestyle content.
Have you seen any bad uses of AI in imagery?
The answer is yes. Have you?
I think it was a leading question, yeah, for sure.
I think, and actually this goes back to, we used to talk a lot about bad stock photography. Now it's bad AI images. And people buy with their eyeballs. So if they're seeing a low quality AI image, they're gonna think that they're gonna get a low quality product.
Is there anything else that you'd like to say about Suna or product images or anything like that?
I would just say budgets are getting tighter and tighter. When you're investing in a photo shoot, make sure you are getting the absolute most number of assets you can out of that photo shoot. When you're investing in a model, when you're investing in a stylist, when you're shipping your products, like milk that shoot to be able to really build out a nice content library so you don't run into having to use the same assets for everything.
All right, well, I really appreciate you taking the time to talk to us. Thank you so much. I'm here with Filippo. Can you tell me a little bit more about Mesmerize?
Yeah, nice to meet you. So with Mesmerize, we try and help fashion retailers solve the sizing challenge. So on one hand, everyone focuses on returns, which is an expensive problem, but the bigger pain point is the opportunity cost of missed sales. You have almost 60% of consumers that tell you I'll never purchase online from a brand whose size and fit I'm not familiar with. So we've launched a solution which, using very basic information, so we ask the consumer only a few inputs that they could answer from anywhere, any day. Based on that, we estimate their measurements. We compare it to the measurements of the garment that we always vet in detail. That allows us to make an accurate recommendation. Then over time, using machine learning, it improves. And that allows retailers to see increase in conversion rates, increase in average order value, and about 40% decrease in returns.
I was going to talk about returns because with our clients, with our apparel and fashion clients, we definitely see that returns can be a problem, especially on the marketplaces that, make returning a really easy process. So can you tell me a little bit more about like how sizing makes the customer experience better and, reduces returns?
Yeah, so I mean, depending geography, depending category, depending what you look at, as you said, distribution channel, but returns tend to weigh, size and fit returns tend to weigh, if you look at it from the drop-down menu, often 30 to 50% of returns. If you look at statistics, they tell you 70 to 80% of returns are at least influenced by size and fit. So if you can get it right, you're solving the lion's share of your returns challenge. And so yeah, that's exactly what we try and do. So we see that when a consumer follows a recommendation from Mesmerize, the return rate is significantly lower than if they buy unaided as they've been used to doing up until yesterday.
Does this help particularly with international shoppers because the sizing could be very confusing for those that are international?
So I think yes, and that's for two reasons. The first of all is geography mix, in the sense that, if you look at the average return rate in Germany is 50%. So, the US is probably around 30-ish% on average. So if you're shipping to countries with a higher return rate, you're going to have an organically high return rate. So yes, because of that. As you said, returns translations aren't great. So you have brands that maintain their local sizing on the PDP internationally, and consumers, maybe I know what my European size is, I have no idea what my US size is, and so I'm flying blind. And then even worse, you have brands who translate their sizing and then do it wrong. So, it confuses the consumer even more. So,
how many retail sites are using this kind of technology right now?
So yes, as you said, we use very basic inputs, very top of mind questions to estimate 16 different measurements of your body. On shoes, it's 2 different measurements, so foot length and foot width. So we estimate all the measurements we need in able to make an accurate recommendation. I think from a market perspective, I think on average right now, I'd say that somewhere between 15 to maximum 20% of the market is using this type of technology. Sadly, not only us, we do have competitors. But yeah, I think there's still a huge upside. A lot of online retailers are still being very inefficient in this space.
Well, thank you so much for that information. I'm very interested in Mesmerize, so everyone check it out.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for the interview. We are Good Growth. We're about 10 years old. We work with NRF top 100 retailers, in particular where they're looking at challenges around launching new experiences that are complex and time consuming. And we take those that often have a 12 to 18 month roadmap for delivery and deploy them live on their site in about 2 or 3 weeks. And it blows them away.
Can you tell us how you do that?
Well, we spent 10 years and £10 million thinking about how do you solve the problem of legacy technology. We think it gets this hugely bad rep around actually where people say it doesn't work, it doesn't do this, it doesn't do that, but actually it has this huge value that it's robust, it's reliable, it's compliant, but actually just sometimes from a front-end point of view, it doesn't match the expectation or the experience set by competitors such as Amazon. So if you separate out those two things and say, let's maintain our legacy tech, but transform the online experience, that's where we come in. So it's a bit like an Optimizely on steroids or Adobe Target, but the things you can do are just much more expansive.
Can you tell us how your technology separates you from Optimizely and others that are doing like A/B tests like that?
Yeah, so what you'll often find is there's two core ways. The one is if you're running Optimizely, it's a superb tool. But if you speak to any of the retailers here, they'll be using either one of three typically, Target, Optimizely, or Dynamic Yield. And what you'll often find is that they're using it to run experiences that sit within their white space that they can. But if they want to introduce new capabilities, that's incredibly hard because they need API over here to connect with API over here, or this data set, and they can't do that. And so the space they work in is just compromised by their existing legacy. So if you can separate yourself out from that, suddenly your canvas is infinitely larger, and so your teams can build and deploy whatever they want. That's the first reason. The second thing is, particularly if you're web delivery, JavaScript only, what you'll often find is that once you've got a winning experience, you don't want to run that 100% of the time to 100% of traffic, and because it'll just degrade site web vitals, blah, 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 blah. And with us, the way the technology is designed, that isn't an issue. So you can deploy an experience, iterate, get it to a winning place, leave it running whilst you build the new experience up into your code base. So really cool, let's talk about AI. So everyone wants AI, and if you're a grocery retailer, you may want to take a handwritten shopping list and upload it into your existing e-commerce journey. Sounds easy. Who wouldn't want to do that? We all have a shopping list at home. To do that, you need probably one or two versions of AI. You need Google Vision or equivalent to translate the handwritten note by Jake into characters. And then, because your spelling is so awful, you probably need ChatGPT to auto-correct the spelling. So where you've written Sam, you actually mean ham. So, but those capabilities might not exist in the sort of the sand pit, as it were, or the canvas that a retailer currently has. But they exist in the world, and the challenge is to integrate them into the journey. And so that example we built for a UK retailer. They've been looking at it for 12 to 18 months, and we built it live, fully integrated into their existing shopping capability in about 4 days.
Is there anything else you'd like to tell us about good growth or anything about where you see e-commerce growing this year?
So we're based in the UK, and so we spend a lot of time over in the US. We see a lot of the experiences and the innovations that we deploy in the UK are particularly applicable to the UK, so to the US, excuse me. Why? E-commerce penetration in the UK is about 30%, and the US is 16% or something like that. And so I think there's quite an opportunity for low-hanging fruit in the US to drive faster growth.
All right. Thank you so much for your time. I'll let you get back to it. Appreciate it. Thank you, James.